Uncomfortability breeds complacency. So why do we remain comfortable? Why do we think that, operating in a place where we know the outcome is the safest or best bet? Because being uncomfortable is scary. Being uncomfortable is not something that we champion in this society. A lot of what we do is we play it safe. Why do we play it safe? It's what we know, we're familiar with. And I'm here to tell you that everything that you want is on the opposite side of the uncomfortable thing that you are avoiding. Prime example, I have a job. I am a salesman. And the thing about sales is that you get told no a lot. You get told no so much that you kind of become numb to it. Like you don't really internalize it as a no. So like when you do get that yes, you're like, oh my God, like this person actually wants to buy. Like that's kind of like the life of a salesman. So the uncomfortable thing that has been coming up in my job is that I haven't really been selling the most. It's a slow season. Mainly, a lot of people just don't want to buy. And it gets to my head because, I'm thinking, man, I got to make rent. I got bills to pay. I want to have money to, kind of go out and stuff like that. So the comfortable thing for me to do was to find a part-time job and, kind of play it safe in getting a job that I know would bring me more income instead of honing in into something like this, where like I won't see the benefits of my investment right now, maybe a year from now or however long, or even work harder in my own job to make more money to get more sales. What's the point that I'm getting at here? Me operating from that uncomfortability just forced more problems into my life. Or I'm sorry, being into that place of comfortability just caused more problems than not. Like me deciding to, just be like, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm just gonna get a serving job, probably Uber and something like that, and then I'll be good. But the fact of the matter is that I still wasn't good, because it's like I am so attached to the idea of I need something right now and I'm uncomfortable in my body right now, so let me do the safest thing. But the reality is that the safest thing is kind of I'm exuding the energy that I want to remain right here. I don't want to expand. I don't want to grow. I don't see myself, being somebody who sells a lot or somebody who's a YouTuber or somebody who can inspire a lot of people. I want to diminish myself and go get another job that would potentially give me instant gratification rather than doing something that can delay the gratification. But ultimately, I'll be a lot more fulfilled and potentially make even more money than I would ever make doing anything else part-time or full-time in corporate America. So I decided not to go with the job. I didn't decide, I didn't get the job. But the main point of what I'm getting at is that I just kind of said, you know what? If I don't make rent, if I don't have the bills, the money for the bills or whatever, I'm just like, you know what? It is what it is. Why? Because it's just like, I just have no control over what the market is. I don't have no control over what it is that people's financial situations are. I have no control over those things. So the more that I stress about why people aren't buying instead of doing something else that fulfills me right now, I'm just creating more problems in my life. So the uncomfortable thing for me to do was to lean into something that I wasn't sure of. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go all in on my YouTube channel because I feel like that's where I want to be. That's where I see myself in the future, being someone who inspires a lot of people to kind of step out of their comfort zone and go after and chase after their dreams. And whatever happens, happens. And I kid you not, literally the next day that I made the conscious effort to be like, okay, you know what? I am completely detached from what happens. I don't even care about this job. I mean, I care about the job to a certain extent, but I don't care what happens to me or at this job, because I'm also factoring in like, what if I get fired, this, that, and the third. But I was like, you know what, if I get fired, I'll just find another job. Like, I'm not about to sit here and let this job define me and make me feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what am I gonna do? I'm about to be on the street. It's not gonna happen. You know, I'm not gonna let that happen. But yeah, the minute that I detach from the outcome of all of these fears and all of the playing it safe in my mind, sold 10,000, sold 5,000, sold another 10,000. And I'm just like, bro, why was I stressing? But it also reassured me that the law of attraction is something that really does exist. And when I decided to lean into the uncomfortability of like, you know what, let me do what it is that I want to do. What do I want to do? I want to make videos. I want to make music. I want to put out content. I want to be somebody who's a creative and is living off of their passions. I don't want to be somebody who's working a dead-end job, being just minimized by corporate America, bro. I don't think corporate America is a horrible thing. I just don't feel like it's for me. Having to wake up and answer to people, that's not fun for me. So why am I feeding that energy? Because it's comfortable. That's all that I know right now. I don't know too many people that's out here living as a YouTuber. So it doesn't feel like something that is possible, but it is. 100% it is. Because in every moment of my life where I decided like, you know what, I'm going to do the uncomfortable thing, I have grown immensely. Another thing that has happened in my life that I feel like I'm extremely uncomfortable about is trusting myself and trusting my decisions, primarily in my relationships, because I feel like, you know, growing up, I was somebody who was very much a people pleaser and didn't really know how to stand up for myself and voice how I felt, because it was just always difficult for me, because I seeked so much validation from people that I care about, whether it be my mom, my grandmother, my friends, my family, my aunt. Like, there's so many people in my life that I'm just like, you know, I don't want them to have a negative perception of me. But it's like, why? Why does that matter? If it means that I'm sacrificing my own happiness, why does that matter? You know what I'm saying? So recently, I was in an argument with somebody that I really care about. And, well, not an argument, but I was having this tension in my chest because they did something that I didn't like. They did something that I didn't like. And maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, I would have bottled it up and then just kind of tucked it away, because it was uncomfortable for me to voice how I felt, because I'm afraid of it starting an argument. I'm afraid of it, you know, them being mad at me, them leaving me, or what have you. These are all things that play in my mind before I do any sort of thing that makes me uncomfortable, right? But I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I literally don't care. This is how I feel. And if I'm feeling this, then that means that it's valid. So what did I do? I decided, you know what? I'm going to voice exactly how I feel. And I'm not going to do it in a disrespectful way. I'm going to say it in a way that's very palatable so that they can understand where I'm coming from. Because the only reason I'm doing it is because I do care about them and I want them to be better. So I voiced how I felt, and the outcome turned out better than I even thought. Like, sure, there was a little bit of pushback, but I'm also scared of confrontation in that sense for people that I'm romantically involved with. And I feel like that's something that I have to overcome. And doing that, I feel like we got closer. So a lot of times when I'm sitting here, like telling myself, you know, I don't want to do arguments. Why? Because it's uncomfortable for me. But that's what I actually need to make the bond stronger, because it's like, you're just not going to have agreements with somebody that you're romantically involved with constantly. You're going to argue. But it's not to say that arguments are bad. I feel like it's necessary, especially when emotions are involved and stuff like that. You're gonna butt heads. That's just gonna happen. But it doesn't mean that you hate this person or well, maybe you hate them in a moment. But it doesn't mean that it has to be like this negative thing. I feel like after that, I realized how necessary arguments are, because I feel like a lot of me, I am like suppressing a lot of emotions that I'm feeling because I'm afraid to voice how I actually feel, in fear of losing someone. But it's like, if I lose someone by being myself, were they really meant to be in my life to begin with? Food for thought. But the moral of the story of what I'm getting at is that every time that I leaned into the uncomfortable thing, my life became a lot easier. It became a lot more comfortable because I now opened a new door, new possibilities for something better to come into my life. And now I exude the energy of wanting things that make sense to me. That's authentic and true to me. And that's exactly what I want you guys to take away from this video. Lean into the uncomfortability, because on the opposite side of that is growth. Okay? If you're thinking of whether or not you should do something, the only way that you'll know whether or not it's the right outcome is if you do it. Now, I'm not saying to not put no thought behind what you do. Obviously, take the time to think about what it is you're doing before you do it, because, you know, why wouldn't you? I'm just saying it to say that, you know, a lot of times we like to get advice from other people because we're not sure of what it is that we want to do. Even though we kind of know what it is that we want to do, we're so fearful of like the judgment or what have you. It's like, I'm still a victim of it too. I aspire to be in a place where I completely don't care about what anybody thinks of me. That's just not where I'm at right now, but I'm working towards it. We have to just make the conscious effort to just be like, you know what, this is what I want to do. And I'm living with whatever outcome comes with it. And I feel like more times than not, when that's what we decide to do, the outcome turns out better than we even imagined. So don't look at uncomfortability as a bad thing, even though it feels bad intrinsically. A lot of times that's what we need to elevate our lives more and go into the direction that we actually want to go. When we decide to choose comfort, that's how we remain complacent. That's how we remain stuck in life. That's the reason we don't take action. And we continue to make excuses. Prime example, you know, I was about to not shoot this video today. Why? Because I was like, bro, I don't feel like shooting a video today. But then I thought about myself, where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Who am I? I'm a creative. I'm a YouTuber. I'm somebody who wants to share my ideas and thoughts with the world. So if that's the person that I am and who I aspire to be, that person would make a music video, a YouTube video today. No excuses. Also, when you start to lean into uncomfortability, excuses kind of go out of the window. You know what I'm saying? You live more in your actions and less in your head. And I feel like that's the only way to truly find peace within this life. So, in closing, if there's anything that you could take away from this video, understand that the more comfortable you are, let me rephrase that. If there's anything you want to take away from this video, understand that uncomfortability isn't a bad thing. Uncomfortability is the first sign of growth. And if we're not growing, we're remaining the same. And who wants to stay the same? We always want to strive to be better than who we were the day before. If you feel like you didn't get any better, it's probably because you're operating in your comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. Be gentle with yourself. But understand that, you know, you don't have to wait for permission from somebody to step outside of your comfort zone. All right, so that's about it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you all so much. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's have a conversation. I really want to get insight. If you guys have some things that you want me to talk about, I'll be more than happy to talk about it. But I want to do daily uploads. I feel like I have a lot to get off my chest, a lot that I want to share, and I really like this outlet. I like being able to talk and share my ideas with you all because I feel like, you know, community is important to me, and building a community with like-minded people would be dope. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and until next time, peace.